Hello and welcome to South Asia Focus. I'm Mugdha Kapoor. India and Pakistan have been locked in an intense battle on the border with ceasefire violations and heavy exchange of mortars. India says Pakistan has been the aggressor, while Pakistan claims provocation by India. Since the beginning of October, Pakistan and India have been firing mortars and machine guns across the heavily populated border, resulting in the highest death toll of civilians in a decade. India maintains that it is Pakistan which has violated the ceasefire and indulged in heavy and incessant firing on Indian border posts and villages, and described it as a routine ploy to aid terrorists to cross over from Pakistan to Jammu and Kashmir. India's Defence Minister Arun Jaitley has accused Pakistan of failing to create a peaceful environment on the border and warned that the Indian armed forces were responding to each of the provocations that Pakistan is making.
Our armed forces, particularly the army and the BSF in this case, have only one option, that is to respond adequately and defend our territory and our people. Our forces have been doing a commendable job in the face of these unprovoked acts of aggression by Pakistan. Pakistan in these attacks has clearly been the aggressor, but it must realize that our deterrence will be credible. If Pakistan persists with this adventurism, our forces will make the cost of this adventurism unaffordable.
Jaitley also warned Pakistan that it would have to pay an unaffordable price if it continued with the shelling and firing on the border. Security expert Alok Bansal said the Pakistani army is getting desperate as it was not able to infiltrate militants across the border into India, and added that the Indian army was giving a strong reply.
I think the Pakistan military realized that India has emerged with its head held high from this recent altercation, and I think they are not very comfortable with this peace process, and as a result you are seeing firing. They also see a window of opportunity that they could possibly internationalize this issue, and this is one of the reasons why they have actually raised this issue with the United Nations. They probably feel that at this juncture, with heightened level of firing across the line of control and international borders, they can once again highlight to the international community that two nuclear powered states could lead to war by this sort of an incident, and the international community needs to intervene. So probably Pakistan at this juncture is feeling that it probably has a window of opportunity whereby it can probably internationalize the issue. Also, the conflict between the civilian and the military leadership within Pakistan, which has its own dynamics, is also trying to create that sort of a problem.
Defence analyst C. Uday Bhaskar said Pakistan was wrong in targeting civilians and that using heavy artillery like mortars was very dangerous.
I think what we are seeing also is perhaps a certain political determination on the Indian side. That in the past there was a sense that perhaps the Indian security forces were operating with a certain degree of restraint. Now we have to be a little careful about the kind of direction that this kind of an approach can take, which is the frustration in India that Pakistan is constantly provoking India. There is an objective to try and internationalize the tension between India and Pakistan, and also to draw attention to the Kashmir issue. Now, whatever be the nature of the standoff between India and Pakistan, it would be very tragic if innocent civilians become the victims of this whole sequence of events. Which is why, as a security analyst, I would only make the case that India and Pakistan should make some attempt, particularly on the Pakistani side, to cease fire, prevent transgressions, whatever be their nature, and go back to the spirit of December 2013, when both sides agreed that they would not violate the sanctity of both the IB and ensure calm on the line of control.
Similar thoughts were echoed by security expert M.M. Khajuria, who said the frustration of the Pakistani forces was clearly visible and that it is a pre-planned strategy on their part.
See, Pakistan government and Pakistan army are in a state of total frustration, beginning with Nawaz Sharif's presence in the United Nations General Assembly, where he was totally modernized, and his effort to revive the so-called Kashmir issue came to a naught. There has been churning within the Pakistan establishment, and Pakistan army has taken over the situation more or less. And what we see happening on the line of control, beginning from Poonch and now in Arnia, is an escalation of the process that they have started. What is happening in Arnia today is not a ceasefire violation. It's a calibrated attack on the civilian population. And as we know that 5 persons already died, around 35 are injured, and some of them are very seriously injured. And the bombing is not confined on the military targets. They are attacking the civilian populated area, and much worse, they are attacking even now the places where people are collecting for safety. So this is a challenge that has to be faced squarely, and I strongly believe that the message must go to Pakistan through our actions, the military actions and diplomatic actions, that if you want to play this game, we can play it much better than you.
Pakistan on its part has blamed India for the border skirmishes and in a predictable move has even approached the United Nations appealing to it to intervene. Sartaj Aziz, the advisor to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif on National Security and Foreign Affairs, said he had written to the UN on the deliberate and unprovoked violations of the ceasefire agreement and cross-border firing by the Indian forces over the past weeks. The letter underlined the old Pakistani tune of the need to resolve the issue of Jammu and Kashmir in accordance with UN Security Council resolutions. Activists of Pakistan political parties hit the streets of Karachi recently to protest against the shelling on the border by India. Protesters of 2 political parties, Sunni Tehreek and Jamaat-e-Ulema-e-Pakistan, raised slogans and banners while agitating against India. Senior Sunni Tehreek leader Shahid Gauri warned India that Pakistan would not be intimidated as it is not a small nation.
अगर भारत हमारे सरहदी इलाकों में, हमारी आबादियों में आवाम को अगर शहीद किया जा रहा है, गोलाबारी की जा रही है, तो वो अपनी औकात में रहे। अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा को हम ये बताना चाहते हैं, पूरी दुनिया की अक़वाम को, कि पाकिस्तान की जो आवाम है, पाकिस्तान की जो कौम है, वो कोई मामूली कौम नहीं है।
Pakistan's tactic of seeking UN intervention in the Kashmir issue, however, failed to elicit any new reaction from the world body, which once again reiterated that India and Pakistan should resolve all the differences through bilateral dialogue. US Senator Tim Kaine has said that India and Pakistan should let the UN participate in returning back to ceasefire mode on the Kashmir border.
With a great deal of concern. You know, the civilian deaths are very, very troubling under any circumstance, but deaths of military as well on something where there should be a ceasefire that holds. We don't want to see deaths of military personnel either. So this is a very troubling thing. As I indicated, I was heartened by the Secretary General of the UN's comments encouraging work back to have that ceasefire stick. I thought the Prime Minister's comments assuring the nation that, you know, this will be fine. You know, I don't think they were sort of sugarcoating comments. I thought they were the kind of comments that leaders make to try to bring assurances to the civilian population, and I was heartened to see those reported in the news this morning.
Pakistan's National Security Committee, which is chaired by Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, has expressed its disappointment over the border skirmishes and has lamented the fact that Pakistan's sincerity is not being reciprocated by India. The committee also observed that both countries were aware of each other's capabilities and that war was not an option. This is the first major crisis with Pakistan that Mr. Modi has had to deal with since winning the elections emphatically in May this year. It also comes weeks after huge anti-government protests in Pakistan against PM Sharif and his government.
India has made it clear that as long as ceasefire violations and the export of terror continues, talks with Pakistan are not possible. Pakistan is of the view that the Kashmir dispute should be the central point of any discussion with India. It is highly unlikely that this deadlock will end so easily. More on that in the coming episodes. Thank you for watching South Asia Focus.